and welcome to Shine Dubai, a new series dedicated to highlighting inspirational and empowering women in the community. Leaders, pioneers, innovators and creatives, we reveal the role models who are doing extraordinary work in all aspects of society. To launch the series, we met with Tiffany, co-founder of Roundtable Global. Her campaigns invite and inspire women and young people to join a global conversation about empowerment and balance. That's with the objective of creating a society of equality and opportunity for all. So Tiffany, thank you so much for being with us on the show.
You're welcome.
Now tell us all about Finding Balance campaign and obviously the Global Roundtable Company. What is the ethos behind it?
So basically, Finding Balance campaign is following our philosophy about creating balance in the world. I've been really passionate about empowering women and unlocking potential in them and young people as well. But the Finding Balance campaign is saying that it's not just about women or young people. It's not just about equality for women, it's about equality for all. So the whole Finding Balance initiative is a global series of summits and programs which are helping us to create new cultures that are empowering for everybody.
So this is definitely not like a feminist movement?
No, definitely. If anything, it's far removed from that. I mean, the definition of feminism is actually great, but unfortunately it's got such a stigma attached to it because back in the day when women were trying to get equal rights, they became more competitive when we're stepping into their masculine energies. This is very much a case of understanding and recognising that things need to change in the world, and there's been a dominance of men making decisions using their masculine energy, and if we can create more balance in that, if we can bring feminine energy into the men but also encourage women to step into leadership roles using both their masculine and feminine energy, then we know that all the decision making and therefore policy making will change.
Now I know you've got some wonderful programs that you're running to enhance this process. Please tell me about the Shine initiative.
Okay, so the Shine initiative is our top-down approach to helping to create balance, and we do understand that although quotas aren't the answer, because sometimes they can set women up to fail, we do need to create a tipping point of women in leadership roles so that we can start to increase that feminine energy. So the Shine programme is a programme that's a 3-month journey for women who are wanting to release their fears, to increase their confidence and step into leadership roles in an authentic way, and we're delivering them all over the world. So we're creating like a global alumni of women who will become leaders and influencers and hopefully agents for change and help us to make a difference.
Now I know you have some quite unique methodologies of what you do in these programs, and it's very creative. Introduce me to some of the elements of the program.
Okay, so I come from quite a traditional training and corporate background, and what really excites me about what we're doing through Shine and Roundtable is that we're bringing in the elements of mind, body and spirit. So we're not just using theory, we're not just using reflection, feedback and traditional review methodologies. We've also brought in energy. One of our founding partners is an energetic facilitator, and so he's helping through the release of energy to make people make changes in their lives. We've got a 3D kinetic artist who's helping women to express themselves creatively through art and create totems of their strength and their authenticity. And we've also got a movement specialist who's helping people to step into their courageous acts of leadership through movement. So with the combination of the 4 of us with our areas of expertise, we've created something that's really different. And what we're seeing on every single program that we deliver globally is true transformation and sustainable change. So it's not just like a traditional program where you go and you sit and you learn and then you go back to work and you forget about everything. People who leave the Shine programme at the end of 3 days are supported through 3 months, but they've also already changed, because it's about digging deep, it's about questioning who you are as a person and understanding what you want and who you want to be.
So what projects are you seeing coming out of the Shine programme? What are the ladies around the world doing in their community now?
Well, there's a variety of projects. So we had a pretty famous choreographer in London who has set up a mentoring scheme for young women who want to become dancers. And she's not just mentoring them to dance, but she's also talking to them about body image, about branding, introducing them to people who are important in the industry, can help them further their careers, but rather than them being rubber moulded into what the industry wants of them, saying be unique and authentic within that and be brave and expressive. And she's getting some fantastic results already. there's another lady here in Dubai who was very keen to help the refugees in some way, and so she set up a scheme where she wants to send books and materials to refugee camps so that women and children can continue their education and continue to be in touch with their cultural heritage while they're in that awful situation.
And I understand that the mentoring scheme helps these women to basically have the confidence and the support to move forward with these projects, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they are coached by us as a team, but we'll also put them in peer coaching groups. So we select within each group of 9 to 12 women, we organise them so that they can actually help each other and work in groups of 3 or 4. So they've got that support. And then for every single woman, we offer them the opportunity to have a global mentor. So we help to reach out into our network and their networks, and also networks that we don't currently have contacts in, and find women and men who can really help them to further the projects they come up with over 3 months.
Okay. Now, I know you've had your one summit in Tokyo, this is
Yeah.
your second in Dubai. London is the House of Commons, I
Yes.
believe. Who else is involved? And that's including the N committee?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
tell me about
Okay.
it.
So to govern what we're doing and making sure that, because we're a for-profit organisation, but underneath our organisation we've got 2 charities. So we've got the Global Shine Foundation, which is set up to create funding and help disadvantaged women, and we've also got Legacy Project, which is working with young people. The Global Shine Foundation is being advised and governed by the N committee.
Right.
N in Japanese means destiny. And the members of the N committee are influential women and leaders around the world who can actually open doors and help make change happen. I work very closely with First Lady of Japan, Mrs. Abe, on this N committee, and which she's the patron of.
Right.
And so between the 2 of us, we've selected and identified other members around the world, such as Lady Barbara Judge in the UK, and Michelle Van Buren, who is a managing director of Sotheby's International Realty. And between us, we're fundraising, and we're also deciding on the best ways to spend that money that will help the most women and young people around the world.
So from the programmes, from the women who are involved in the Shine programmes and from the summits, where do these results go? Who are you presenting them to?
So the outputs of the summit specifically are going to be a documentary, so we're filming each of the 3 summits in Japan, Dubai and London, and we're also creating a report back. So all of the ideas and solutions that come out of the summits we're creating into a document which will go to the governments that we've been working with on creating the summits, but also we've tapped into the United Nations, who are very interested in supporting what we're doing, and they've offered to distribute the document internationally. So those recommendations, those ideas for change can go into all of the different countries around the world.
Tiffany, just on a personal level, at what point in your life did you go, I have to do this, I have to, be this change and create these programs that are helping women and youth all around the world?
Okay, so it stems back to when I was a child. So I grew up in the UK, and I grew up on an estate where there was a lot of bullying. So I had what would be termed a tough time when I was a youngster.
Right.
But what I really recognised was that through great role modelling, through good education, through access to the arts and being able to express yourself creatively, then things can change. And that really made me passionate about a bottom-up approach to making change happen in terms of educating, inspiring and influencing young people in a different way, so that there's no such thing as inequality, so that everybody is equal and there's balance there. So it really started back then. I started the Legacy Project charity in 2010, and then Roundtable and the Global Shine Initiative and everything has come about since 2014. So it's been something that's been in my life for a really long time. One thing that really galvanised me though was in the last 12 months, where all of the governments started to come up with their quotas and say, for example in Japan, let's increase the number of female leaders 30% by 2020, and I felt very concerned that you can put women into leadership roles, but if we don't provide them with the infrastructure, if we don't provide them with the development, and also if we don't spend time working with men so that they're ready and that they've got the development they need to work in an environment where there is more women and more feminine energy, we're setting them up to fail.
Do you have, if you could possibly condense it, do you have one piece of advice for women who want to do something, but that it's sort of in their head, it's not really happening just yet?
Yeah, I think my advice would be to work out what is authentic to you. So forget about social conditioning, forget about glass ceilings, they're only perceived anyway. Forget about cultural hierarchy and historical conditioning, and just basically really spend time with yourself. Right. Surround yourself with people that will give you energy and can see the authentic you. decide what you want to do and just go for it.
Yeah, it's really about deciding what you want to do and who you want to be.
Yeah.
And finally, how can we get involved? How can everybody get involved?
Well, there's so many different ways to get involved. So the summits, obviously the third one for the pilot is going to be in London, but in 2016 we intend to take them all over the world. Every time we do a summit in a country, we would like to run a couple of our Shine programs. So there's an opportunity to sign up and be involved in the Shine program as a participant, a mentor, a contributor. But there's also, in each of those countries, through our funding with the foundation, we'd like to run a program for free for disadvantaged women. So we want to make everything that we're doing as inclusive as possible. And then lastly, if you're an organisation or an individual like that that's working in the same space as us, we don't see it as competitive, we see it as an opportunity to collaborate. So approach us and talk to us about how we can combine our efforts and energies to do something really amazing.
Tiffany, I think if there's one person who can change the world, it's definitely you. It's such a pleasure to have you with us. Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. From global summits which focus on finding balance to a United Nations photographer whose work celebrates the resilience and fortitude of women around the world. After the break, we meet Matilde Gattoni at the launch of the exhibition titled Her.